Hello. I hope you are all doing well. I wanted to talk with you today about how sometimes we start out on one path and there are all these twists and turns that may seem not unrelated, more like how is this going to fit into the bigger picture of things? How am I going to use this experience on the next part of my journey? And I was guided to speak a little bit about my experience with that. I started out studying social work. Now, before that, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't feel like I had a clear direction. I had one, or so I thought. I just didn't really know how to go about it. I was insecure. I was feeling depressed. And I took a career test in high school, and it said I would make a good counselor, and I did always kind of have that feeling that I wanted to help people, that I wanted to be of service in some way. And I didn't really know what that looked like. So I researched different ways to get into the counseling profession. I happened to be enrolled in a sociology elective that my high school was putting on, and they talked about applied sociology or clinical sociology, which is essentially social work. And I really got interested in that. And I took a year off from high school. I mean, not a year off from high school, but I took a year after high school before I went to college. And I used that year to work on myself. I went to a program for the blind where I learned to work on certain skills like taking the public bus and crossing intersections and cooking and things like that. And yes, I had an idea of how to do those things, but for me, anyway, it was really about confidence building and really learning to start, at least to get my mindset right. And from there, I went to college for social work. And during this time is when everything kind of happened and my abilities started waking up, and I started really feeling like I was here to do more. And I didn't really understand what that looked like. I knew that I wanted to be involved in personal empowerment somehow. And I was having these spiritual experiences, and I really didn't think they would become part of my path at all until a few different things happened, and I was taking my first mediumship class, and I really enjoyed it and wanted to incorporate it. So I started practicing with people, and I started my business. And when clients were coming to me, it became more apparent that not only did they want that closure that their loved ones were still around them, but they were hurting because of different things in their lives that weren't going the way they wanted them to go, or they were depressed, they were anxious, they just were struggling. And it led me toward energy healing. It led me toward Reiki, and still wanting to be involved in that personal empowerment, counseling people, talking with people. And it led me to spiritual coaching. So yes, I could, if I really wanted to, look back and say, well, I just wasted years of my life going to school for social work and doing all these things before that to get myself to that point. And I could say, well, was that relevant anymore? And yes, every experience we have, everything we go through is taking us, it's designed to take us to the next part of our journey. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that resonated with some of you. If you're thinking that, oh, why did I go through this? What is my path? And for some of you, it might not have to do with career. It might have to do with simply just finding yourself, returning to your center, or whatever it may be. It's just, for me, it happened this way, but for you, it might happen in a completely different way. So I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings. See you next week, and thank you for watching.